like everyone takes a few minutes to kind of get
Do
settled
they?
in. Yeah, I tuned into Lori Ladd's. I don't know if you got into it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
And in the beginning, and I sat there for a few minutes, and like the first 5 minutes, when I told you they were starting, it was just like settling in, getting things organized. She's
Yeah.
really funny. She's so cute. She's like you. She's like, I figured something out.
Yeah.
She's like
That's
really
good.
excited.
That is
So we're
good
not
because
we're not the only ones.
no, it takes a minute, right? It does take a minute, and we shall give some more minutes for people to join as well. So I think we've actually had a few weeks without a RMP.
Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, no re and P, but definitely lots of R&R. So
Yeah. Oh, look who's here, Jimmy.
Jimmy,
Hello,
hello.
darling. So nice to see you. It's been a while. We did a couple of we did do a bit of like an Instagram live, didn't we? So we went on here because you were
Mhm.
away and stuff. So yeah, but we are back on it. Hello, people joining on Instagram. We are currently live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And so wherever you are, welcome. Thanks for joining us. RMP Do Live episode 17. I think, because to be honest, I don't really know. When I was trying to title it, I was like, I have no idea which one we're on. But I
Not
think
gonna
it's
lie, I've kind of
17.
fallen off the getting stuff organized for it, but I'm
Yeah.
back on today. The
And
energy's there, and like since 2 days ago, I've been like thinking. Actually, funny you say that because
yeah.
right when you messaged yesterday, because we do confirm to make sure we're both kind of feeling it and want to
Mm,
do it because it needs
mm,
to come from a place of truth, right?
yeah.
And when you messaged me, I had just finished making myself notes to say, go and change the thumbnails
Oh
because I was
yeah.
meant to do that like weeks ago. And then I took off on
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
magical journey, which was amazing. But, and then you messaged me,
Yeah.
and somehow it got to you that that's what I
Vibes.
was doing. And it just vibes,
Vibes.
vibes,
Vibes. It's all about the vibes,
vibes.
people. You gotta understand. We live in vibes.
We do live in vibes.
We live in vibes. So hey, shall we do our questions? The
Let's do it. Let's
questions.
do it.
So the first question, and if you're watching, we'd love to know your answers to these questions as well. The first question that we ask is the emotion of the day. So Ree, what is your emotion of the day?
Oh man, I'm just, you know what? The word just came and it's just vibrant. I'm just feeling really vibrant, and it comes
Yeah.
from the vibrations,
Yeah.
right? And we did our little intention setting just before as well, and like that's what I'm getting. I'm just getting vibrations, and I actually had to explain what vibrate means to one of my kids today because we were
Yeah.
learning about sound waves in
Oh,
my second
nice.
last lesson, and it just like I was just like so excited teaching her. I was like, do you know, like when your phone vibrates,
Yeah.
and like we're talking about how sound travels and like how we use sound in our day-to-day life, and just things that even while I was teaching, just like little realizations of like the blank space, right? Where I'm like, oh, sound, what would happen? Like one of the questions is, what would you do if there was no sound or if you couldn't hear sound? And it's like, oh, and then I had to try to explain to her, like, what sound does gold make? And it's like, how do you explain
Oh,
the sound? And it's like, is there sound? Is there, because we're using our sense. And it was just,
yeah.
it was just intense, really intense.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
So
vibrant.
you're
How you
feeling
feeling?
vibrant. I love that word. Vibrant is a wonderful word. How am I feeling? Um, Are you sure you want to know the answer to that question?
Definitely.
To be honest, I'm finding it hard to find a word, but let me ask my intuition. Pinky is feeling unstable. Is that a feeling? Unstable. I'm feeling unstable. I'm feeling uncertain. Is that a feeling?
So
I'm
that's
feeling
that is
shaky.
that's a feeling, but is that the emotion? But I mean,
I
is
don't know.
vibrant an emotion too? We
Oh,
kind
I
of went
don't
with
know.
feelings today.
Yeah.
I'm okay sticking with that because I feel like
Okay.
let's
Let's
underline
go
the
with
feeling of
it.
uncertainty is probably anxious,
Uncertain, anxious. You got it.
right?
Anxious. You got it.
And
That's it.
what's the emotion underlying feeling of
Vibrant, I
vibrant
feel
is
like it's vitality. It's a sort
just
of,
energetic, just powerful. That's
yeah,
the word that came to me, right? Just
yeah,
my emotion is just
energetic,
power,
powerful.
energetic.
Yeah. So I'm feeling anxious. Ree's feeling powerful. What a concoction we've got for you today. I just get images of like volcanoes erupting and like crazy, like the
Then, like,
energy's all over.
beautiful lava flowing out after, this
I
is
would
like
like a bit of that. I like a bit of
a
that. So Jimmy's saying Jimmy is feeling excitement. I don't know why, but I feel excited. I like that. I love
Tell
a
you
little
why,
bit of
Jimmy, I'll
excitement.
tell you why. It's the
He's gonna
hunter's moon.
It's the hunter's moon. I'm sure we're going to be getting into the moon stuff today. I don't know if the moon is making me anxious. I don't know. I like to blame the moon sometimes for how I feel, but it may be having an impact because talking about vibes, right? It's all vibes. So let's do our question. Our next question for anyone who'd also like to tell us, what is your answer? A fear of the day. Do you have a fear of the day, Ree?
I didn't
Hmm.
until this came up.
Hmm.
I didn't really have a fear of the day. But now that I
Hmm.
think about it with my brain's
Yeah.
telling me that you should be fearful of like losing this feeling of vibrancy, this
Oh,
energy.
interesting.
What's going to happen? What's your down going to be? But I feel like that's not coming from my soul. That's coming
But that's fine. That's
100% from my brain.
That's good, but we go with it, right? Just truth. It's all bits of the truth, right? It doesn't matter if it's right, wrong, where, but you're lose because it's interesting you say that because mine is the opposite, which is I'm never going to get out of. I'm never going to lose the anxiety that I'm feeling, that it's going to be stuck with me forever. That's what came to me is my fear is this is never going to go away. So you're worried that yours is going to go away. I'm worried that this is never going to go away and I'm going to be an anxious wreck for the rest of my days.
But can we just look at that for a second? Because
Yeah,
that's how we work in life, right? If there's something really good that's happening,
yeah,
instead of enjoying that moment of just being like, this is amazing, we're
yeah,
like, oh my God, it's gonna end, isn't it? This is gonna end, this is gonna end. Like on a vacation. Like, oh, I've got
yeah,
3 days left, I've got 2 days left, oh, I've got one day left. And you're like,
yeah,
you're counting down the days of like, oh no, I gotta go back to
yeah,
real life. And and same thing with like when you're in a shitty place, you really
mm,
feel like it's never gonna end.
yeah,
Have you ever been in the
yeah,
shits where you're like, you tell yourself, you know what, it's gonna be dead tomorrow. I'm gonna wait. Like
yeah,
we try to, but
yeah,
our subconscious mind's like, it's gonna be a shitty fucking day tomorrow.
yeah.
you know?
And that's literally where I'm at right now. I'm like, this feeling is never going away. That's really interesting. Hold that because
Mm,
I'm feeling something
mm.
coming through here. Jimmy says, fear of the day, hunter's moon makes me a lunatic. Sorry.
Oh, Jimmy, I heart you. That's
Nice one. I'm just
wonderful.
gonna mute myself while I choke. Re-talk.
I think that's Pinky choking on her fear. So if anyone's got a fear, you know what? Don't choke on it. But just let it out.
I'm
Sometimes you got
back.
to let it out because it's there.
Let it
So
out, man. Oh God, sorry people. That was not pleasant. I do apologize. Okay, I love it. Awesome. So, all right, Ree, what are you grateful for?
oh, you know, I'm grateful for signs. And I'm
Mm,
grateful for being able to receive the signs lately. Like
mm,
literally, I'm going to tell you this amazing one that came to me when we were doing our intention setting and the beautiful field of like the flowers and the colors. And
yeah.
we talk about colors being related to different things in our life. Um, and my first student of the day this morning at 6 a.m. came to class and she's holding a little eraser, I think it was. It was a
Yeah.
purple rose. And I was like, oh, what is
Oh,
it? She's like, it's an eraser. And I'm like, no, it's a flower. She's like, not a real one. And I'm like, no, but what color is it? She's like, purple.
yeah.
And I'm like, it's a purple rose. She's like, but there's no such thing as purple roses. And I forgot to show her the picture at the end of class, which I told her I did. So I'm going to send it to her mom. But
Yeah.
purple rose is the first thing I saw this morning when I logged in, right
No
after the ring.
way. Oh,
And so
I
now
love
I'm
it.
like, that's how I'm feeling. I'm really,
Yeah.
really feeling that,
You're
that,
in
that,
tune. Yeah.
yeah. And for people that don't know, I mean, purple is the color
Mm.
of the universe. Purple is the color of your sacral chakra. Purple is the color
Crown.
of your crown, sorry, your crown
Yeah.
chakra. Purple is the color of your higher spirit, your soul, right? And
It's a very powerful color. I love
very
it. Some of
powerful.
my one of my projects that I'm doing is coming through. And do you know what's interesting? As you said it, I looked over to the corner of my room, and this has been there all the time, and I don't look at it. I've got a painting that's a beautiful lady painted for me. I've got to show it to you. I'm gonna get it. I gotta
We're
show
gonna
it to you. I gotta do this. We're getting interactive.
get
But I've got to unplug like 55 mics, so just hang out while I untangle myself. And now I'm gonna bring this because it's beautiful. You got to see it, and you're gonna love it, Brie.
uh, for those of you watching, um, that's what I mean. Like signs, like little things that you don't realize till something else happens, and then it makes you think about, oh, there's a connection between it. There is some sort of frequency or vibration between those things that remind you of something else, and I'm not saying use your brain to kind of put these things together, but you're just like, just today, just now, the purple rose meant nothing to me this morning. I was like, oh, so cute. And I'm like, I literally looked at the moon and did my moon thing this morning and then started my class. And the first thing in front of me was not even her face. It was just this like purple rose, and it
Yeah,
was, it
it's
was
signs,
beautiful.
man. It's nice, huh?
That's what my vision looked
That's
like.
what you just saw. I showed this with people on Instagram. It's a stunning piece of artwork by a lovely lady local to me on Facebook. And as soon as I saw a picture of it, I was like, I need it. So she made me one. But yeah, it's been in the corner for so long. And it was only as you were talking about it, for some reason, my eyes were drawn to it. And it's like, but that's it, right? Like, there's something here that's drawing your attention and your focus that is beyond what you can think and understand.
And even our
Um,
meditation this morning was based on space and it wasn't based on the picture, right? It was just like, we're
yeah,
doing space today. That's
we're
literally
doing
what Pinky
space.
said.
Yeah. So Jimmy is grateful for synchronicity.
Yes, that's the word, Jimmy. That's the
That's it.
word.
That's the word. Everything has been coming together today. That's excellent to hear, Jimmy. Anyone on Instagram, if you want to join in, do. Synchronicity is a beautiful thing.
I stood on the balcony just before our show, and I was like, synchronicity,
Yeah.
synchronicity, synchron, and I said it out like a few times, and I'm like, am I saying this wrong? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, synchronized swimming, synchronicity. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy, I literally said the word out like 10 times
I love it.
20 minutes ago.
We
So
are clearly in some super duper vibes right
we're
now.
in sync, not the band.
Um, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for this topic that we're going down because I love it. It's like my favorite topic. And so I'm grateful for what we're going to uncover today and what we might explore and learn. So, okay, hey, why don't we do this one? Tip of the tongue, Ree. What's on the tip of your tongue? Go.
Wow. Oh my God. My brain just kicked in.
Not the tip of your brain, the tip of your tongue.
No, my brain just kicked in. You want to go ahead? I blanked. Seeing stars here.
Okay. Tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue. To be honest, tip of the tongue for me, which has been going for quite a while, is why am I on this earth? What is life? What is everything? If everything is energy, then what am I? I don't know. I don't know who I am. I'm like literally questioning everything. I'm very much diving into that whole thing of like even more so around like we're saying vibes, energy, frequency. The physical world is simply a perception. So the tip of my tongue is like I literally don't know anything about this world and about life, but I find it very magical. I'm really exploring the magical side of it, the sensations of it. The It's a very mystical, adventurous experience, which I love. But there's nothing to hold on to there, right? Because it's all energy. There's no boundaries. There's not something you can grab and touch and taste and whatever. It's just something you can't hold or touch with your physical body in any way or even grab with your mind. And so it's the spaced out feeling that I was saying I've been having for a few days is I feel very spaced out. So I feel like I am just maybe I'm that space, right, that we're talking about. And that's very difficult for my mind and my body because my mind and body need something that I can hold on to, but you can't hold on to energy in that way. So I'm just really in that spaced out vibe. And that's on the tip of my tongue of like everything is just space energy. There's nothing physical there. It's a manifestation. What does that really mean? I don't know. But that floating around in a spacey feeling of consciousness is on the tip of my tongue.
And that's you pretty much put it in like into really great words for me because the tip of my tongue, what comes up for me is more of a feeling, and maybe that's why I can't put it into words. the tip of my tongue is really a feeling that I've been having as well, and mine's again the opposite for those of you joining us. The opposite of Pinky right now. And mine's very like a I'm on cloud nine, and
Mm,
I've really been hanging with the tension. And I was reading this thing about the hunter's moon and Aries. I'm in Aries, and just wanting things done yesterday,
mm,
and that's just the impatience that is just part of our star sign, just part of what I came to this planet, this earth with. And now I'm learning to control it, and it's just such a thing of beauty because I'm literally asking the universe. I have been like
mm,
on the tip of my tongue, I have been asking the universe
mm,
for things, and they're showing up, and they're showing up. And if they don't show up, instead of being upset about it not showing up, somehow, I don't even know how, like I'm not doing this through my brain. I'm just
mm,
from a higher consciousness going, cool, there's something different. There's something better. Okay, this is a sign. And
mm,
it's for somebody watching going, oh yeah, like, oh, my watch broke. This is a sign. Oh, this happened. This is a sign. Do you know? And someone will probably go, wow, that's just nuts. How can everything be a sign, right? How's everything a sign? And it's like, you got to look at the bigger picture because it really
mm,
is. And it might not be a sign for right now, and it might not be connected to each other. But oh,
mm.
we're testing our fire alarm, by the way. I hope it's
That's
not
nice.
terrible.
Wasn't too bad. No, no.
But it's a sign. It's a sign. And I'm just feeling on this like I'm floating. I'm literally
Yeah,
feeling like
yeah,
I'm floating through every day right now.
yeah.
And it's almost like I'm doing it without any effort. So even the feelings of like whatever's coming, it's like I had a day of like anxiety on the weekend, and I just kind of went, as I told Pinky, I put it in a gift box and I gave it to the universe to go, you deal with it.
Yeah.
And
Love
it's
that.
just unfolding so beautifully
Mhm.
that, like you said, it's so magical. And the connection, like this like it's like I've opened up some different like receiving realm channel. I've just put up some new
Mm.
antennas, whatever, antennae, whatever. I put up some new
Anthony.
friggin' I
Anthony.
put up some
Put some
antennae.
Anthony's.
I put some
Nice.
new I put some new vibrational frequency chords that are now connecting with the higher. Listen, this is why I don't put it into words, right? It's a feeling. It's like it's
Got some
frequency.
Anthony's. Got some new Anthony's. So and now I'm getting an image of you literally walking around with one of those little tiny things with
A
the little
little.
wobbly
Can you hear me now? Oh, incoming message from the universe.
and
Literally,
one of them's like beep 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 beep. One of your
but
Anthony.
like Jim said, everything has been so synchronized. It really is like
Yeah.
that post. It's a dance. It's a dance,
Yeah.
and it's not a race.
Oh, I love
No,
that.
it's not a
Yeah, say
race.
that
It's
again for me. It's just
it's
those
oh,
two
I
things
have
you just
goosebumps in my
said.
forehead.
Just I need to hear again.
It's a beautiful dance.
Goosebumps in my forehead.
Dude, they were like right here.
Oh god.
God, has no one ever had goosebumps in their
Oh god.
forehead?
I love it. Your third
It
eye,
was
man, is going. Sorry, say it
it's
again. I just want to
yeah,
receive
it's
that.
just it's a beautiful dance. It's a beautiful dance, and it's
Mm.
not a race, and
Oh, I
it's not
love
a
it.
fight,
I love it.
and it's not a battle. It's just this
Mhm.
dance of literally you and the universe, and imagine being wrapped
Mm.
around by that energy of stars and magic, and just
Mm.
you're dancing through life. And the problem really comes is when you open your eyes and
Mm.
you're like, oh shit, but look at the society that's been created, and look at these buildings and things and roads and shops and clothes and brand names and this and that and more 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 and more.
Mm.
And what was that thing we said the other day? You can't that Satguru says, you can't feel like we're chasing. The
Yeah.
chase is never ending, right? when
Yeah.
when we're trying to fill a
Mm.
feeling and
Mm.
our soul, but we're chasing material things. I mean, what
Yeah,
did I
and
say?
you can't dance because if you're dancing, you want to go where the music takes you. You want to go where your body wants to go. But in the physical world, then you bang into a building, you bang into a person, you bang into a car, you bang. So you can't dance truly in the physical. The
No.
dance is really of the soul, of the energy, of the
And you're
floating, where there
and
is nothing blocking you. You just you can go anywhere.
and imagine like you just even like line dancing. I don't know why I'm picturing line dancing classes, right? But when you're like learning to line dance, there's like tape on the floor and you're like on or even different steps.
Yeah,
When you're learning to dance,
yeah,
I'm going to tell you, you're going to step outside those boxes and you're going to step outside those
yeah,
boxes till you find your groove, till you find
yeah,
your rhythm. Oh, those goosebumps on my
yeah,
forehead again. They're coming. And
yeah.
it's
And
like I'm dancing, trying to find my groove. I've got my rhythm
yeah,
now. The rhythm's coming with the
yeah,
synchronicities of life.
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
I'm just trying to find my step. And it's
Your
like, oh,
flow.
that's not it. That's
Yeah,
not it. And you just keep
yeah,
going though. You don't stop.
yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Dance, dance of energy and soul. I love it. Um, we have a comment here, or a few comments. Let's see what's popping. Jimmy says, tip of the tongue. By the time I worry, the moment to worry about has gone. Interesting. Very true. Uh, Anthony will be pleased.
Anthony, are you there? You catching this frequency? Did you did you get that?
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh.
And Auntie's here. Good morning. Nice to watch. Hello, Auntie. Nice to see you. Feeling rested yet to catch up with the time schedule. Auntie is grateful to the nature as this relaxation will provide energy to accomplish what is on your list. Absolutely. Nature is really a nice example of the dance, I feel. Nature, just the way that it flourishes and grows and pops up where it wants to, and they plants just take their own beautiful shape and they just grow, they just expand into their own space. And I think that that's a very nice example. I love it. Let's see. Hello, people on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're
Hello,
well.
hello.
Why don't you be talking about, Reed? Do you want to give them a lowdown? Where are we at?
Oh, where are we at? We are floating through space. We are dancing with energy. We are
Mm,
in the most magical state of being there is. And we're just dealing with all the different emotions that come up and where they come up from and talking about how to dance in society. I think
dance.
that's been a
Yeah.
question for me ever since I did my yoga and just how do you dance when you go to learn in a dance studio, right? And now you're used to dancing in this dance studio and you know
Mm,
the area and the size of the room and where you can step
mm,
and where you don't step. And now you
yeah.
step out of this room and
Yeah.
someone's like, okay, here's a stage. The
Yeah.
stage is smaller, the stage is bigger, you've got to cover the whole stage. How do you decide
Mm,
how you're going to take that dance from that room where you learned it
mm,
and incorporate that into a
mm,
different environment? And I think
mm,
that's really what's coming up. Oh, shining.
mm,
But that's really, really what it is, right? It's
mm.
like we've had this when I learned my yoga and my friend, Monica, like we talked about, like you live in an ashram and then you go out and there's like, bam, society. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you discipline, right? The discipline, but really it's not even the discipline. It's also just the awareness of like, you're still dancing. It's
Yeah.
okay. And
And
really
how do you
believing that it's
how
okay.
do you because there's it's like when you go out now there's all these structures and they say, well, you have to dance like this, you have to dance like that, if you work in this company you have to dance like that, if you're going to be with this person you got to dance. But like you say, when you're really getting into the flow of your own dance, maybe I want to step over there, and someone says, no, that's not the right move. It's like, no, but I want to step there, I want to dance there. And I think that's really the essence of living in the flow of the universe, living in that pure energy, living in that synchronicity, creating that synchronicity, is you've got to be able to dance your own dance.
Mm.
You got to dance your dance. Someone else might not like it, might not fit the rule. Doesn't matter. Where does your body want to go? Your body, your intuition is going to tell you where you want to step at any given moment. And I think at that point, it's like, oh, but can I do that? Can I step there? Can I not? Are people going to judge it? Is it right? Is it wrong? And that's when we then hold ourselves back from actually dancing. And then we're standing on the side of the dance floor, just tapping our foot, going, yeah, nice tune, eh? Yeah, look, they're having fun over
While
there.
we watch other
And
people
we're
dance away.
exactly because we didn't want to take the step. What's someone
right?
going to think of that step? Is it the right step? But I think, like you're seeing and saying, and I totally vibe and resonate, is that you're meant to dance, and it's your dance. It's your
And
dance.
yeah, yeah, it is. And that's I mean, that's all there is to it. But it's so hard. It's so hard to like and maybe we should talk about this a little bit because
Mm.
you're dancing, and every day we wake up and we dance and you dance and we dance to whatever the rhythm of the day is, right? This is the rhythm of the night, but the day. Okay, different
Yeah,
song. But
yeah, it's fine.
that's your rhythm. And if it's,
Mm.
if the rhythm is cloud gray, which we talked about, just gray
Yeah.
clouds and skies, you're going to dance a different song to a different song
Mm.
because that's the beat of
Mm.
maybe the environment you're
Mm.
in, right?
Mm.
But you change your dance to that.
So
You
was I
adapt.
still dancing? So like on these days, particularly last couple of days, I've been so I say the word depressed, but I shouldn't use that word because for what real depression is not what I was experiencing. And I don't want to take that lightly. But I was miserable and I've got the anxiety and the sadness. Is that part of my dance? Because I'm like, no, that's the wrong dance. I can't have that. I can't feel like that.
Have you ever
But
watched a dance where you've liked every single step and move that people have done? Or have you ever done a dance where you're like, ooh, I don't like this part of the dance, or I'm going to change this because
yeah,
this isn't me? Or
yeah, yeah.
so it's still, it's still like, oh, but you can't do another step. Like the thing
And maybe
is,
I'm resting in between dances, If
and
imagine if you just like did a crazy dance for like 55 hours straight. But it's like, actually, maybe I need a rest. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
sure, I mean, we can take the analogy any way you'd like, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's a dance. Even
Yeah.
the anxiety is a dance with the universe. It's a dance with yourself because you are the
Mm,
universe, right? The universe is in you, and you are
mm,
made from the same particles of energy and atoms and molecules, and we're just different substances. That's all, right? We're all
mm,
just different substances, but we're made up of
mm,
atoms and
mm,
elements and molecules, right? And
mm,
you're still dancing. You're still dancing. You're dancing with the universe. You're dancing with yourself. And when you're dancing with yourself,
mm,
you're becoming aware of what step you're taking, of how it's making you feel. And you're like, okay, maybe I don't love this dance, but this is my dance for today. And you have to be okay with that. You have
mm,
to be okay with your dance. You have to be okay with saying, this is me today. There is nothing wrong because again, once we get to that high elevated level, I assure you, like I'm certain of it, and I can bet my life on this, right?
mm.
And if this isn't the truth, then what the hell am I living? But
Okay.
um, I I can honestly say that I strongly believe through my intuition and my feelings that when you get to that point where you're dancing the most beautiful and the right dance for you,
Mm, mm,
when you're in that right dance, when you're dancing the happy, or
mm.
I'd say no emotion dance because there's no emotion to it.
Yeah.
There's no feeling. It's
Yeah.
just this
It's
this
just a
this
flow of,
sense of oneness. It's just a
yeah.
flow. When you're dancing that dance, I don't think that there's any space and time to overanalyze how you're feeling and how you're doing because again, the
Mm,
feelings and anxiety, happiness, sadness, all these emotions are labels that we as humans have created to put
mm,
on emotions that do
mm,
go through us as people
mm,
caused by external circumstances or even internal
mm,
circumstances like
mm,
I went to the gym today, I'm feeling great. Well, what if you didn't go to the gym? Are you going to be hard on yourself? Are you going to be angry at yourself?
mm.
But you
And that
chose that,
is,
right? You chose to be angry or
yeah.
happy or sad.
And that's the thing
Sorry.
that I've had the challenge with is accepting feeling crap. That's my biggest challenge. And it's like I judge it. I think it's bad. I've got to get rid of it. I've got to fix it, which just makes it worse. And then it stops me being in flow and dancing because now I'm taking this one dance move, which may be an anxiety move, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm analyzing it. I'm going, I've got to get rid of this move. This move is not good. And so all I'm fixated on is this one step, which just makes it the only thing I can see. And I'm judging it and I'm saying it's wrong. And so now I'm not dancing anymore. I've stopped. I'm not in the flow. I'm not in it. I'm not moving, and then I get miserable, and then I lose sight of the bigger picture, the bigger universe, the bigger everything, the energy, the fact that nothing is stagnant, everything is just constantly moving. You're just dancing all the way through. But I've stopped at one step and I'm over analyzing it. It's bad, it's wrong, which says really a lot about me essentially, and where my ego functions and where my identity functions, is that I'm not okay with not being okay. I don't know how to be okay with not being okay, particularly when it was the level of not okay that I felt, because it was so low that I was like, shit, I don't even know what to do with this. Like I was like, don't even ever really remember feeling so horrible. And the worst part is I don't know why. And that's when I'm trying to figure it out. Why do I feel like this? Because nothing in the outside world has really changed. Nothing changed. Okay, we got some grey clouds in England, but is that it? I don't know. But why? Why do I feel like this? And but again, like a dance. When you're dancing, you're moving. You're not saying, "Why am I moving my arm here? Why am I doing this? Why am I floating in this
No, but
What?
you are being aware of it, right? You're like
Yeah,
your arms start somehow you're dancing. Next thing you know, your arms are up in the air and you're doing some
yeah,
woo thing and you're like,
yeah,
whoa, what am I doing? Okay, this is kind of cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna go with it. And you
yeah.
just go with it.
And you go with it and you just feel it, because you feel how it feels when you move in a certain way, and that's it. You don't go any further. And that's what I'm doing. I'm feeling it, but now I've got to judge it, fix it, all that. And that's when you stop dancing. Whereas if you can just flow through the feeling, whatever it is at any given time,
Mhm.
then you will move into the next part of the dance, the next part of the dance, the next
Uh-oh,
part. And who
you're
knows what's
frozen
going
on
to be
StreamYard.
there? Oh,
Or
am
is it
I?
me?
I'm
Am I
You're
frozen?
frozen. Yeah, you're frozen, but
Oh, you're back. Okay.
are you back? It might be me. I don't know.
I don't know.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Um, yeah. So hey, we've got some comments. Do you want to do another comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sophie is here. Hello, Sophie. Tip of the tongue. Sophie's tip of the tongue is surrender to this opportunity. The last few days have been emotional, anxious, and questioning my decision. Are you in my life, Sophie? Are you me? Like, okay, you just relocated to the desert in Australia, I think.
Yeah.
So glad I caught this live. Oh, bless you, darling. We're glad to have you. Divine timing, nearly midnight in Uluru. Thank you, beauties. Thank you. So I
Thank
love
you.
that. So been emotional, anxious, questioning your decision. You've just relocated. Yeah, part of your dance, hey? Let's
But
let's
that's
tune
the
into that a little bit for Sophie and just go, Ree. So what were you gonna say?
yeah, no, I was just gonna say the questioning is just comes up because that to me is so what really comes up for me and flares loudly is the brain, right? The brain wants answers. We're trying to
Yeah,
fix something, we're waiting for something. And it's part of this moon. I'm telling you, this moon is, it's in Aries and
yeah,
it's a hunter's moon, and there's a lot of impatience around it. There's a lot of go-getting energy. There's a lot of competitive energy, but you
mm,
take that energy and you use it towards what I was reading this article that talks about is towards like asking for what you want,
yeah,
and then just kind of stepping back and letting the process
yeah.
evolve on its own versus
Let the dance dance you, right? Like Sophie, what's so clear there is you've just started a new dance, right? You've not done this one before. You're gonna do some new moves. You don't know where it's gonna go. You don't know how your body's gonna move, and it's unnerving to the ego, right? We all know that. Sophie knows and stuff anyway, right? But it's like you're about to go on a new dance, and my sense is it's gonna be the most beautiful, expansive, freeing, enlightening, cosmic, magical dance that you've ever had. But you're just on the edge of it, you're just starting it, so that's where obviously all that stuff comes in. But I think it's amazing, I think it's fantastic. And maybe that's it as well. Like, anytime we're feeling these nervousness and anxieties and depressions and sadness, maybe it is also a sign that you're being pulled to do a new dance. You've not done this one before. You might be going into a dance floor that you've never been on before with different people, and you're going to do some different moves, and you don't know if your body can do it, and you don't know what it's going to look like. And it's almost like just that. It's like that thing, right? When people are nervous to dance at a party, and you're like, come on, get on the dance floor. And they're like, no, I'm fine, just with my drink hanging out over here by the bar. But a part of them is itching. A part of them is like, I want to dance. I want to let go. I want to be loose on the dance floor. But they're not quite doing it. It's that anxiety, that nervousness of the pre dance nerves. I feel like that's what maybe I'm experiencing, and maybe Sophie for you, it's that pre dance nerves of like, oh, I'm about to go and do a new dance. And
can I
I
just
think,
take that
get
for
on
a
the dance
second?
floor, get on it.
Exactly what you just said, and I had this image, and this is so true, I think, and let me know what you think. But if you like pick, like I just picture, getting pulled onto the dance floor. I love dancing, right? But I've been like pulled on when I'm like, I'm just not feeling it, right? And so what
Yeah.
does that create? It creates a shitty dance. First of all, I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I can really dance, but I'm not into it, right? Even though it's my
Yeah.
favorite song, I'm just not
Yeah.
feeling it because I was forced into it, or
Mm.
because something that I don't want is pulling me into it. So I'm resisting, and that resistance is going to cause anxiety. It's going to cause
Yeah.
questions. Why am I here? I should have just
Mm.
gone to the other room. Should have been in the
Yeah.
bathroom right now. I should have been eating something right now. Whatever it's bringing up, right at that moment. Now think about letting go,
Yeah.
and you go, I don't know what's going to happen next because I'm being
Yeah.
pulled onto the dance floor. And you're like, oh, I'm being pulled on the dance floor. I do like to dance. F it.
Yeah.
I'm going to dance. And you
Yeah.
go with the flow. And now
Yeah.
you're dancing. There's
Yeah.
no anxiety.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't care who's watching. When
Mm.
you clear that and go into that space and that dance move with that clarity, right?
Yeah.
None of that comes up. But if you're
Yeah.
dancing a dance, doing a thing or making a decision or doing whatever it is you're doing that
Mm.
comes with questions,
Mm.
it's going to create anxiety. It's going to create, and right now, again, there's a huge impulsive energy in the air right now, too.
Mm.
And what that's doing for a lot of people that aren't impulsive is
Mm.
causing
Mm.
tension,
Mm. Yeah.
right? And so there's a buildup of tension that I'm really feeling around a lot of it. There's a lot of it happening. And I think for some
Yeah.
people, like I'm an Aries, right? So for me, this is like high energy. It's very, very powerful. For
Mm.
someone who's not, in that planet, different planets, different time of birth, different all of
Mm.
that. And your astrological chart is different because it
Mm.
makes a difference. Is
Mm.
your energy that you're getting from it is probably resistance or probably anxiety or probably like,
Yeah.
what the f is happening right now? I
Yeah.
can't explain it, which means there must be
Mm.
something wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the part of our
Absolutely.
human behaviors and values that we've learned so far in life obviously come into play with what's happening, which is why I said that I think when we really reach that state of the highest awakening,
Mm.
that state of that Buddha talks about, that other wise teachers talk about, that oh my god, am I blanking out? The state of blankness, literally. But you
Mm.
know, uh,
Mm.
what's the word?
Enlightenment.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
When you reach the state of enlightenment, there are no feelings, there are no
Mm.
emotions. You just
You're just
are. You just
floating through.
exist. You
Yeah.
are floating. You're one with everything, and you can feel energies at such a
Mhm.
high level.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah.
and if we think about why we feel anxiety and we start overthinking of why we're anxious and feeling that way, it's like just observe how you're feeling
Mm.
and take some rest or do that's okay. Just take a little you time, whatever that nurturing
Yeah.
and nourishment is for you.
Mm.
Take that
And
time.
just dance through it, literally. Sometimes literally dance. Like music is very, very helpful when you're feeling stressed and anxious. But I think again, it's part of the dance. Don't try and get rid of it. That's what I do. Get rid of it, fix it, figure it out. A dance is not to be figured out. If you're feeling it, you're experiencing it, that's where your energy's at. Dance with it. Go through it. It's okay. Like don't judge it. Just allow it to be. And I know that's, a difficult thing, I know for me particularly. I just want to share Sophie's comment. Spot on. I'm just learning the choreography one step at a time. Dance like nobody's watching. I love that. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sophie. It's awesome to hear from you, and I feel very, very good vibes about your new dance and how beautiful it is going to be. And that's it as well, right? One step at a time. That's something that came up for me the other day. Is in my life, I'm trying to know the whole dance now. The dance that may take 10 years, I need to know it now. I need to figure it all out. I need to know every step and I need to see it all on paper before I even move. And then I'm put all this pressure on myself that I also have to be a top dancer right now. And it's like, that's not possible. It is step at a time. It is, you don't know what shape it's going to take. You don't know what move you're going to want to do in 5 minutes, let alone 5 years. And that really, like going back to what I was saying about that flow of just dancing through with the energy and the flow of life and not judging it and just keep going one bit at a time, one bit at a time, because there is no future and there is no past. It's just here now. What move do you want to make? And doing that from a very tuned in, aligned place. And dance like nobody's watching. Imagine if we all did that. If we all lived our lives dancing like nobody was watching. What would
Well,
you do,
somebody would
man?
start watching and they would have a really great video to put on social media, I'll tell you
Onto
that.
Facebook. It
Right?
is, yeah, someone will. That's the thing, that someone's always watching. So I had this thing once of like, what would you do if you were the only person on Earth? Like, would you feel half the things that you feel? Would you do half the things that you do? I don't really know the answer to that question fully, but I know there's so many things. I think if I was the only person on Earth, there's so many things that I wouldn't care about, because so much of what I care about is what other people think of me. And if there's no other people, I don't care. And then I probably would just dance around. I'd have a good old jig, somewhere outside in
But
nature on the beach.
you would also, if so here's the thing. You would also, if you were the only person on earth, but you were always the only person on earth, you
Yeah,
know, how you would behave would be so different to if there were people on earth and now you were the only person on earth left. So
yeah,
you would have days where you're like, I miss people. I
I
want
probably would.
I
Yeah,
want people. I need to talk to someone. I miss that
yeah,
connection with
yeah,
humans, right?
yeah.
But if you never
Because
had
we
that
are
connection
meant
with
to
humans,
dance. Yeah,
if you
we're
never had a
meant to
connection with
dance with others.
humans,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
sorry. No, we are. We're meant to dance with others, but if you never had that connection with humans, then you have a
Mm,
connection with something else,
yeah,
right? And so
yeah.
what's happening, I think, is that wow, is that in this life, instead of finding connections with living things that actually have the frequency and have vibrations and that we do, like you said, dance with someone else, but I think
Mm,
it could be another living thing, really.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
starting to latch on to, oh, look, I have the latest version of, this is not a phone, but the
yeah,
iPhone. I
yeah.
have the biggest car. I have the biggest house. Do you really think that that's your dance for the rest of your life? Is just to see how big your
Mm,
house is
mm,
and how big your French doors are and windows are and
mm.
and that's like, imagine just being stuck with that.
Yeah. But it comes back around to what we were saying earlier, which is the dance is the dance of the soul, the dance of energy. It's not the dance of material things,
Right.
nothing material. It's an energetic dance of your heart just swirling around the universe, having a great old time and experiencing all parts of it. And it's nothing to do with the physical. And that's your intuitively guided life, where your heart is guiding you where to dance, how to dance in every moment, every next step. That is what I feel the dance is. And yeah, it has nothing to do with actually what's happening on the outside. It's how you feel inside. How full do you feel? How authentic are you being? How much are you dancing in all the shapes that your heart wants to? Um, and for some reason, I get the image of I really love the dancing. The Sufis, they do
Mm,
something, I think it's called a dervish, and they spin. You may have seen them. They
mm,
spin, 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 spin. And apparently, that is a way of getting to breaking through to higher levels of consciousness, because if you notice, everything spins, right? The
mm,
planets spin, our atoms, everything is spinning around a central point. That's something very prominent about that in terms of how the universe functions, and how we function. And so they spin, 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 and that's their dance, and it actually raises them to another level of consciousness. And I think that it's like a sort of devotion dance. And I think all of our lives is a devotion dance. Can we make our lives a dance of devotion to something greater, to God, to universe, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, your own heart, your own soul? It's all a dance of devotion. And every time you dance in line with your own heart, you are doing something that is an act of devotion. And I think it's very pure, it's very beautiful. And that's what fills you up. It's not the car, it's the feeling that I just danced in line with something so beautiful and true and honest and authentic for me. That's what makes you feel full. But like we said, we're all dancing in the physical world. So you keep bashing into physical things. Oh, I bashed into that person. I bashed into this house. I bashed into, and it's like, like these things don't move, right? Dance is flow, energy. These things
the
aren't moving and dancing with you. The car ain't dancing with you. Sorry, enjoy the car, dude. I want an Aston Martin, but it ain't gonna dance with me. Oh, but maybe when you're driving in it really fast, maybe that gives your heart a little bit of a dance. I don't know, but
a little bit, not enough to
the-
fulfill your soul, but it definitely does give you
mm,
pleasure for a momentary period of time. Absolutely.
mm,
And we do have a comment which I'll get to in a sec, but
mm,
just talking about your spinning, but the
yeah,
Sufis dance, actually, that
yeah.
is one of the meditation techniques that we practiced when learning. Is actually you just spin, 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 and then you
Wow.
sit, and you're actually in this like some people go into this trance immediately.
Wow.
It's actually sometimes very dangerous to do. So for people that
So
it
we
can
don't
like you,
recommend it if you're
you
not
don't,
trained.
yeah, if you're not
We're
trained,
not
because you
recommending you
can
go spinning
really,
around.
really go into like a high trance by it. Yeah, it was one of the things
Wow.
I practiced with my guru for a while.
Yeah.
It was it was
How long do
intense.
you spin for?
Um, just like you spin for like I mean I did like a good 30 to 40 seconds, maybe a minute even, like, but you just go fast, 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 fast until you're kind of dizzy almost, right? Because
Yeah.
you're losing focus, you're losing everything, and then you just kind of
Yeah.
sit. You just sit. You
Yeah.
just drop down and sit, and you go. Sometimes you go right into it. Sometimes it's a bit like whoa, and you start thinking. But you're the whole
And
idea
isn't
is
that
to
interesting though? Like when you look at like Indian dancing, Kathak and that, they have a lot of spinning and a lot of these dances, when you look at lots of tribal dances, they mean so much more. They're not just a dance. They are a connection and a devotion of energy and divinity. They
yeah,
dance for a reason because and the music you often find is all energy, is frequency, is vibration, it's movement of energy. It's like that's what truly powerful dance does. And I think that's just really interesting thing about like that's what it's about. That's why there are so many ancient dances, that they have a lot of meaning. Every move actually has meaning. It's not just leaping around. Have we got a comment? Are we doing a
yeah, we
comment?
do. So, J Rock,
Oh, hello,
hello.
Jill. You can read this, Ree.
Uh, I am getting quite bored of living a life where achievement is a focus. Jobs where you want to achieve, milestones you want to achieve, teaching children they need to accomplish goals
Yeah.
rather than enjoying process. I am aching to just live and enjoy and be whoever and whatever I want, not based on achievement. Yeah, that
Oh,
is
we know that feeling, Jill. Let's
you
tune
know,
into that for Jill in this. What does your intuition say for that, Ree? Or just go with whatever you were about to say before I cut in. So
it's okay.
you
No,
already had it.
just
You already had it.
I was actually just gonna say I wasn't tuning into that, but I was just what that brought up for me is just the actual we've talked about this a couple times, but like just the state of depression and mental health and all these things that are now, this video I sent to you about Biki Shivani too. She just talks about the words. I'm stressed. The weather's depressing. These words
Mm,
that we're constantly using to then put into our subconscious mind to then,
mm,
kind of train ourselves, which really is what we
mm,
do since we're children,
mm,
to believe that those words are actually how we feel,
mm,
right? So if someone says, "Oh, the weather's so depressing today," do you
mm,
know what? Gray clouds are still beautiful. They're clouds. Like, do you know how
mm,
beautiful clouds can be? Or,
mm,
I'm just not necessarily at that moment, but it's like, sure, it's not sunshine, but it's like it's
mm,
still nature. And look at how it changes. And
mm,
look, it's like nature being angry today, or But and when it comes to things like mental health and depressive states and stuff like that, for me, and I'll still say I think I've only been depressed once, and it's still very challenging. Like we talk about this dancing this dance and
mm,
living this life with with a flow of things
mm,
and letting things happen and synchronicities and signs and
mm,
accepting and just continuing and with this lightness. But really, what happens if you're in this really dark, heavy place? What happens when
mm,
all you know is achievements? What happens when you
mm,
come from a hockey mom and dad family and that's all you've known your whole childhood? You
mm.
know, how do
And
you
then
get out of that?
yeah, and the reality is, like Jill says, we live in systems that are designed that way. So the minute we're born, we're in it, and that's how we live, and that's what we're taught, and that's what we do. And then because it's so inauthentic and it's not really, are you still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Sorry, but
Sorry, am I
oh, you've
frozen?
frozen, yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right, we'll come back. But yeah, we are brought up in the system, the matrix, if you like, which I was watching last night, which is it does not serve our souls. And that's just the truth of it. In my view, that's just the truth of it. And that's why people then do feel like that, because we're not here to achieve, we're here to be. The tree isn't trying to achieve something, it's just being the tree. The dog is not trying to achieve something, it's just being the dog. And that's really what our essence is. But we do live in a world that unfortunately achiever is one of the 9 personality types, right, on the Enneagram. So the achiever personality is I am what I achieve. My worth is based on what I achieve. And all that is an egoic construct, right? It's just an idea. It's not true, it's just an idea. But because we all live out of these ideas, we then create systems from these ideas which say, well, that's how we should do it, right? Because to me, achieving means I'm successful and therefore everyone should achieve and that's how we're going to live. It just doesn't work, right? Just doesn't work. But the reality is we live in these systems. We can't change everything. But the more and more I grow and progress is the more I just see that the only thing I can do is do my dance. Do my dance. And Jill, with kids, encourage kids to do their dance. That's such a gift that you have as a parent, is that you can keep that spark alive in your children, so that even even though they have to go into these systems, at least when they come home, they can still go to their heart, because that's what every child is looking for. Acknowledgement from the mother that their heart exists, and acknowledgement from their father that they have the capability to bring their heart to the world. So, as much as you can give that to children, they will have such a solid grounding that they will be able to see and discern truth from fiction in this matrix that we live in this world. They'll be able to know their dance, and therefore they'll be able to navigate the falsehoods of the world that aren't part of their dance. And they'll see them quickly and they'll say, no, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to measure myself by my achievements. I'm not going to judge someone else by their achievements, because that's not true. That's just an idea and it's not who I am, and it's not my heart, it's not my truth. So, as long as you have solid grounding in your heart, your soul, you know who you are, and you're connected, you will live your dance and you will navigate the world. And that's what, as adults, we are learning to do, because we were brought up in systems that took away our connection to our heart. Every human has experienced it. You can't get away from it. And so we're learning it a bit later. But I think for kids, if you're conscious, you can help them cultivate it early in their life so they retain it. And as adults, we can still do it, because our heart doesn't go away. Our heart is always there. It's just a case of going back to it. And so these ideas, you start to learn these ideas. I've got to achieve. What are the other Enneagrams? I don't belong. I must be perfect. I don't trust. There's a number of them. These are just ideas, egoic constructs that we believe to be the way the world works. But as soon as you start to look at them and question them and go into your heart, you realize you get to choose. You do get to choose, even though it may not seem like it, because the world is checking you and measuring you and but the more you practice, you get to choose. And then, like you say, you get in flow with your dance and you get in flow with the universe. And then the stuff that happens for you, it gets really freaking magical. It gets really magical. And it is so possible. I'm just going to read before you join in. I hope to be able to teach my children how to think rather than what to think. Exactly. How to think and how to know their truth. In ancient times, as we've been told, children used to have an initiation, and the initiation was about knowing their own genius, their own inner guidance, their own heart, their own truth, their own soul. That's what they were taught. That was what their education was. And what is it? The definition of education is, the original definition of education is to draw out of, but it's become put stuff in. So we go to school, and rather than drawing our natural genius out of us, it's like cram other crap on top of it and hide it and ignore it and don't use it. And then we wonder why we have so many struggles. So that, the earlier our own truth, our own hearts, our own genius, our own flow, our own dance, the better it's going to be as we grow older, the easier it's going to be. But as we say, as adults, we can do it now. That's what we're doing, right? We're learning it now, and we're always learning it.
Yeah, and
We've
I
got
was just going to add to
to
that
that you had. Yeah,
with the kids. What really comes up for me is that. Oh, sorry,
that's okay.
they're fire alarm testing in my
They've
parents'
been doing
apartment,
it
of
for a
course,
while.
today. They're testing. No, what comes up for me is that I read this somewhere, and it's not about teaching the kids our dance, right? It's letting them dance, but also observing and learning from them, because we forget
Yeah,
how to dance. They still come into this world and they're so pure and so free and so flowy,
yeah.
right? And you're
They're
just like,
already in the flow,
they're
right?
in the flow. We
They're in
take
the
them out
universal
of
flow.
it, right? So when they're in the flow, what we can do as parents, which I don't think enough parents do, I don't think enough humans do,
No, because
is
they're
to
not
be
even don't even know it themselves.
is
So
because all we want to do
not
is,
easy.
no, 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 I'm older than you and I know better and I must teach you my ways. No,
Mm,
don't teach them your ways. In fact, learn their ways.
yeah,
Learn their ways again because you knew their ways
yeah.
once.
Yeah, you did. Children are so smart, so pure, so knowing, so sensitive, so in tune. And that's why we're trying to get back to that. That's all we're doing. All this work, all this stuff on my wall, all these courses, all these videos, all I'm trying to do is get back to who I know I always was. And I am. And I was as a child more purely until the world made me something else. And we're all on that journey. Everyone is on that journey, but it really is, it's the unlearning, right?
It's
It's the
unlearning.
unlearning
Yeah.
and coming back to your true nature and purpose, which never leaves you. That's the beautiful part about it. It never leaves you. You've just got to remember, go back, keep connecting, keep playing with it, keep feeling it, keep acting from it, keep living from it. And it strengthens, and all the other stuff does start to fall away. But that's the journey, right?
And when you're dancing your dance, I promise you, like Jim said earlier, the synchronicities really come together
Yeah.
because when you set your heart to on something, it's in The Alchemist too, right? When you set your heart on something, the universe conspires and puts all its power in making sure that you achieve it. Like your true
Yeah.
heart, not I really want this job. I really want
Mm,
this job tomorrow.
yeah.
Why? Because it's going to get you more money because it's
Yeah.
not for the material things. It's that thing, it's like filling a bucket with air.
Yeah.
It really is. You're gonna keep putting in air, and maybe there's air there, but you're never gonna know. It's never gonna be
Just doesn't
full.
quite fill up, right?
It
Yeah. You
doesn't ever
can't
really
quite
fill up. You
finish it.
can't fill a bucket with air. Just like that, you can't fulfill the needs of your soul with
No.
material things from outside, including things like winning and achieving and all of those things. That's not if that's not your truth.
Yeah.
Trust me, something's gonna hurt, whether it's
Mm,
physically in your body, whether it's with anxiety, whether it's with questions. You're literally gonna question things. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna share something really quickly.
mm.
Do we have any comments on Facebook
We've got a
or?
couple waiting. Do you wanna do
I'm
your
just gonna
thing and then
share
we'll do
real
them?
quick. So yesterday I had this. I'm supposed to be interviewing. I got this job to teach online with another company, and I went traveling for 3 weeks, and I didn't do like my demo. And the guy's like, "You still interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally still interested." Meanwhile, I'm already private tutoring, and I've got my idea to like teach kids yoga because that's what I want to do, and like all this other stuff that I want to do, right? Because I'm like, I can do
Mm,
everything, and I can.
mm,
Why not? Who says I
mm,
can't?
mhm,
And I just had this question that came out of nowhere that went to like, is this something you really want to do?
mm,
Like, and I went, where's this question coming from? Is it coming from a place of fear? Is it coming from
mm,
a place of like, ooh, I don't think I'll pass the demo? Is that where it's coming from? And I went, no, I'll do the demo, right?
mm,
Because I was like, I'll do the demo, but then you're gonna get locked in putting in more time towards working for this company while you're still teaching in the morning. Why don't you take that time and discipline yourself to put that towards your cooking videos or your
mm.
writing or even just meditating for 2 hours because being with yourself is so much more important right now in this phase of growth, which I've realized,
Yeah.
than making an extra $30, right? That
Mhm,
$30 to me is like,
mm,
sure, I could use to pay my bills, but
mm.
what is my truth? Is that
Yeah.
$30 going to fulfill my truth?
No.
No. Is it some sort of means to an end temporarily? Yes. Do I want a temporary fix? I'm not trying to fix things.
Mm,
And that's what I mean. It was so clear to me after just a 3 minute evaluation going, yeah, I just my like it came out of nowhere. I didn't even not think that I didn't want this job. I was like, oh
mm,
yeah, new job. I've been hunting. And I went, but wait, just one question.
mm.
Does this align with what I truly
With my
want
truth.
with
Yeah.
my truth? Does
Does
it
it feel
align?
like the right next dance move? Does it
Is
feel
it
like
is
it's
it
flowing in my dance? Yeah.
right? Do I have
Yeah.
to put in more energy to this dance? Do I have to try to dance this
Mm,
dance?
that's the thing. When you're really dancing and you don't try to dance, right? Your body is dancing. Your soul is dancing you. That's the thing. The dance is dancing you. You're not doing the dance. And that is we're trying, and no wonder we're doing really crappy steps and like stumbling over our own feet and bumping into other
You're trying to
people,
copy people's dances too,
copying
right?
dances, and then you're like, yeah, and then you show someone
Dancing
the
to
dancing,
impress.
right? And it's just like, or to get something. I'm gonna shake my ass, I'll get laid. Like, I don't do that, by the way. Just an example. But you shouldn't be dancing to get something. You're dancing because you love to dance, and that's the crux of it.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just going to let's do a couple comments on the Facebook that have been waiting. So Jimmy says, "Dead or alive?" Sang "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round." Yep, that's a great song.
He sang
And
the whole
he's
thing
he
out.
sang the whole thing.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you're the best. Ree, you're still frozen. I don't know if it's me.
Oh,
Maybe it's mine.
I don't know, Jim. Am I
Um,
frozen?
Yeah,
Somebody.
can
Yeah.
someone on Facebook tell us if oh,
I know
she's
I'm not
back. You're
frozen.
back. You're
Instagram.
back. You're
Oh,
moving.
all right.
You're moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling Jimmy, for singing that wonderful song to us. Auntie said the battery, the soul, should not discharge. Discipline, connection with nature, meditation, patience, prayers make the dance a success. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's important because
yeah,
how can you dance if you're thinking about 74 other things in your head?
yeah, and
There's this
and and
beautiful.
also, sorry, go.
No, no, go ahead.
I can't even remember what I was going to say. I lost
Cool.
it
I
already.
was
You
just
go.
gonna say there's this beautiful again meme that I shared because I'm just like I follow everything universal and beautiful and pretty and I'm like wow this is amazing
Mm,
about this picture of this guy and this dog sitting on a bench, right? And the guy they show you in a thought bubble what the guy's thinking of, and he's like got like a plane, work, buildings,
mm,
car, and then there's this little thought bubble on top of the dog, and the dog
yeah.
just shows a picture of the two of them sitting on the bench because he's
Yeah,
so present in that moment,
yeah, I
right?
love
And
it.
it's just being able to be in that dance and truly just really be in that dance and that
Yeah.
flow.
And dance is art, right? As well, it's expression, and
It's an
all
expression.
things that are pure artistic expression, whether it's your voice in your conversation, your drawing, your dancing, your cooking, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be art. Like even like scientists and people doing maths can get into a state of pure expression. That's their dance, right? That's their thing. But whatever it is, I've totally forgotten what I was going to say.
It's a
What were you
state of
saying?
expression. It's a beautiful thing. It's a piece. It's still art. Art is a state of
Yeah, and
expression,
you do
and you
it for
do.
its own sake. It's not a means to an end. You just do it for its own sake. I don't even know if that was the point I was going to make when I started saying what I was saying, but never mind. What I think we should do now, because we've been going for an hour, should we do lesson of the session?
Sure. I just want to put one question out there, right? And I
Go
think
for
this
it.
is more just from my knowledge because it goes back to what I was saying before. And if anyone has an answer now or think about it, but for me, you know, when with people like I think mental illness is a huge thing in today's society, right? I think it's very very big, and I'm so glad that it's getting a lot more attention.
Hmm.
And there's different disorders. There's depression, there's bipolar disorder, there's different psychiatric like
Yeah.
schizophrenia and different things. And I know there's science based on a lot of it with like
Mm,
actual things that are in our brain. And my question is, can people with these disorders,
mm,
these discrepancies, you might say, in their the way their brain functions, are they able to then dance this dance? Are they able to dance their true dance? And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Does that make sense? I'd love to know if maybe someone's been in, like,
mm,
I haven't gone through a depressive state for a long time, but I have been there and I've been down. I
mm,
really have. And I thoroughly believe, based on everything I went through, that I was really depressed, and for a couple weeks, maybe a little longer. But I was able to find, and for me, I found some magic and some signs. And a
mm,
letter in the mail came from my dead grandmother from the government, who had passed 5 years ago, asking to renew something that we'd already informed them that hadn't shown up for 5 years, and it just showed up because I was like, I just need a sign, and I talked to my grandmother
mm,
when I need a sign,
mm,
and literally the next day in the mail there was a letter,
mm,
and
mm,
I was so scared, but also like I took the moment, right, because it says
mm,
any signs what's the quote? It says any signs ignored
Mm,
is any blessings ignored is a curse or something like that. Any blessings ignored is a curse
mhm,
instead. Can turn into a
mhm.
curse, something like that. So it's like I had a sign, I couldn't ignore it, and
Mm,
it really pulled me out of it. So
yeah.
I don't know, and I would love to know that, if there are things like this that actually do help someone, that maybe if you're going through a state of
Mm,
just feeling really low, maybe it's not diagnosed depression, but maybe it's just so strong that
mm,
doesn't matter. You just can't get up and dance your dance. And what do you do? What helps
yeah.
you? Because I'd love
I mean,
to.
I think it's the other way around. The reason that people are depressed is because they're not dancing their dance. It's not that
But I
I'm
think it's a
depressed,
catch
therefore if I dance
22.
my dance.
I think it's a
Yeah,
catch 22.
you're not dancing your dance, you're going to be miserable because you're not here to dance anyone else's dance. You're not here to sit on your ass. You're here to dance your dance. So
Yeah, but if I'm not going to get
but
up and
that's
dance my
what
dance
makes
because
people
I'm
miserable.
depressed, and exactly, so
But
now
you're
I'm
depressed
depressed,
because
and I'm
you're
not,
not dancing.
but I'm not going to dance because I'm depressed. You know what I mean? You end up
Yeah,
getting
but where does it
how do you
start? But where
so
does
but
it start?
and
Starts because you didn't dance, because we're in
how
a
do you
system that stops you dancing.
how do you
So
come out of it? That's my question, right? Like how
by
do you
dancing. I know it sounds so simple, and you can't say it like that so simply for things like
oh
particularly like psychiatric, can't you say the word? Disorders. And yeah, I'm sure there are things that are, if there's a physical change in the brain, I don't know. I'm not a doctor scientist in that respect, so I don't know in any respect really. But you know, I don't think you can just have a one size fits all for that kind of thing because those things are very complicated. But I think for the majority of like this sort of dis-ease disease that seems to run through our modern society, there's so much depression, there's so much anxiety, there's so much stress. To me, those are all symptoms of exactly what we're talking about, is you're not dancing your dance. You're dancing someone else's dance, you're not dancing at all, you're analyzing your dance, you're in a system that is made to take you down a path that is a straightforward line. A dance is not a straightforward line. It's a flowing all over the place with your soul, with your creativity, with what you love, with your exploration. This world, modern world, does not allow for that. No wonder you're depressed. Society is not designed to feed your soul. I'm sorry, but modern society is not designed to feed your soul. That's why we have the issue. So, what do you want to do? Feed your soul. And then society will change. But because we create it anyway, right? But the root of it is that we're born into something that doesn't feed our souls, and then everyone's miserable. So each person has to make that choice, right? Is okay, am I going to start dancing my dance? Because everyone knows their dance. They know what's in them. They just may have lost connection with it and so on, and they're too scared to do it. We get that. We're all going through it. But that's the choice you make, you know?
Can I read one comment here from Jill, I believe? She
Mhm.
said, I once read an article about what a shaman sees in psychiatric patients.
Ooh,
I do not remember it in full, but the crux was that the issues exist in the spiritual realm.
very interesting.
That is very
Very
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
But it's like you
Do you
said,
mean
the
like sort of like other lives and other beings and other ancestral things is also causing, it's all coming in and creating stuff? Is that what you mean, Jill? I think I don't know a lot about that stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like we're saying, right? Everything's energy, everything is one. Every being that ever existed, every consciousness is all here, all now,
all
all the time.
beyond time and space.
There's so much that we don't understand, can't understand with our little brains. And so absolutely, I've never done anything like that. I've not been to a, like when you go into like South America or something, you do some ayahuascas and things.
Ayahuasca.
I've never done it. I know people who have and have had crazy experiences. But I guess really the crux that I take from that, Jill, like you're saying, is like there's so much more going on than we know. Like we have no idea, even though we're talking about energy and dance, we don't really. How do you explain? How do you comprehend? Do I even know? I don't know. I
Are
might
we just
die
making up
and
conspiracy
realize,
theories as we go?
right?
Is
Exactly.
everything
Because
a conspiracy theory?
right, we might die and realize this is completely different. I don't know. Maybe we don't. God, no, don't take me back there. I've been in this for the last week. Like I'm going, who am I? Why am I here? But
But
it's
it's with
great
the
though.
with
It's
the
great to ponder.
with the
I love it.
shamanic things I read, this is a lot of quotes and stuff, and it was just funny. I'll just share this before we get into our closing. Is
Yeah, and we
that
got a couple of comments as well. Quite a lot of comments
um,
actually.
amazing?
Mm,
Basically, when this thing said, when I was younger, I took DMT or mushrooms to forget about my life, and as
yeah.
I'm older, I take DMT or mushrooms to remember things in my life
Yeah.
and to find
Powerful.
myself, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Ugh,
so many people do it.
goosebumps
So
in my forehead
many,
again.
yeah.
Well, they're starting to use
Like,
DMT as an actual uh uh like a
as
mental
a
health
therapeutic,
for a
exactly.
therapeutic
Yeah.
drug. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
They're
it's
doing
definitely
this.
coming up.
It is, yeah. They are realizing more and more. There was another quote, something along the lines of there was a picture of Jesus or something and God, and it said, God makes psychedelic plants, humans make them illegal. And it's like, what are you doing? Because they're there for a reason. They are consciousness expanding, healing, all this stuff. I mean, again, I don't, not my realm. I've watched a lot of stuff about it, but I've never done it. I don't really know. But like you say, Ree, they're starting to use these things as therapy. Many people have been healed through this stuff as well. I don't know, for me it's up to everyone's individual journey of what they want to explore, but it just goes to show what is possible in this brain, consciousness, mind, whatever this is that we are. And healing is, I think, absolutely possible for all. I want to just do a few comments because we've got some really interesting stuff coming through. So Jim said, this re was in regards to your question around, can people with really challenging mental illnesses or even not just really challenging ones can they dance a dance? And Jim says, yep. Autistic people. Jim knows autistic people who dance around dance. Depression. Oh,
Mm.
depression is often quoted as long-term powerlessness. Jim, I've got to say that again. Depression is often quoted as long-term powerlessness. I love that. I really feel that. And it's interesting, I'm throwing the word around. Oh, I felt really depressed the last couple of days. I wasn't depressed, but I felt low. And really, one of the cruxes of it is I did feel very powerless. I felt like I have no agency or mark or ability in this world. It's like, I don't know, but long term powerlessness, I think I really, really resonate with that. Thank you, Jimmy. Let's
Thank you,
have a look at
Jim.
what Auntie's saying. Are they still doing your alarm
They're
for
doing
like
a
the
whole
whole
day,
hour?
it's a
Oh,
whole day testing. Yeah.
oh God. Okay. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's not loud. It's okay. Auntie says know the cause and seek help. It is depression can be taken care of like any disease. I believe so. I think we can heal anything. Not saying I've mastered that. I have plenty of my own issues, physically more so, and but I don't. I do believe we can heal anything. Placebo effect. That's a very real thing. Your mind is very powerful.
Very, very, and that's what I mean. I know that the mind is so powerful, right? And instead, like, and I don't want to take away from anyone who has gone through these things or goes through it because
Mm,
I haven't, so I can't even relate to that.
mm,
But I mean, it's just, I just feel like there's so many medications and drugs and
yeah.
doctors out there, and I'm seeing a shrink now, and I'm doing a lot better, and it's like, but if you're seeing a shrink and doing better when someone's helping you go through your things in your mind, I guess it is powerlessness, right? You don't have the power to do that for yourself and the
Mm.
discipline. And I guess maybe that's what's lacking. I don't know.
Maybe. And yeah, it's complex, right? And everyone's
It
journey is
is.
their own. Everyone's
Yeah.
dance is their own, right? Someone
Yeah.
might need a shrink, someone might need a pill, someone might need a ayahuasca, someone might need to just have a nap. But that's what this is all about. Get in tune with your dance. When you
Yeah.
tune
What is
in,
yours?
what do you need at any given time. And yes, have people who help. I wouldn't get through my life if it wasn't for other people. God, Ree, the number of times I'm telling Ree, help me. I don't know what I am. I don't know what to do. I made this mistake. I wouldn't get through it. I don't know how you put up with me sometimes, I tell you, but
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for it because
I
we
think
do
it's tit
need
for
other
tat because
people.
I know like five
We
days later I'm gonna
do.
be like, I'm calling you with the exact same problem that I gave you the answer to, but I can't give myself the answer. So can you just answer the question back? Literally happened in Spain. Exact same scenario.
It was so funny. I
Exact
love
same
it.
place, exact same
Um,
city in Spain, like 2 weeks later.
um, let's just do a couple more comments we
Yeah.
got from Jim. So Jim says, okay, yep. So depression is often quoted as long-term powerlessness. I know autistic. Jim, are you saying the same thing? Oh no, he's added something to it. Autistic people who dance are in dance. Manual of Mental Disorders, yep, DSM-5 provides a lot of labels to categorize people, but many labeled people dance their dance. I love that. We like to label stuff, right? Our brain needs to know how it is, understand it. I must label everything. What if you just chucked all the labels out the window and did a little jig? Do a little dance. Just dance. Dance. There's no labels. And this is how we create more neuroses for ourselves because we're categorizing, labeling. What if you could just abandon all of that and go into that space, full circle back to what we were saying earlier, where we began this conversation, everything is energy, everything is consciousness, everything is connected, everything is one, everything is frequency, vibration. At the root, that's what existence is. And beyond that, there's no emotion, it's just stillness, pure consciousness, pure intelligence, having a play, floating, moving. And so there's no labels there. There's no labels. It's not I am sick because of this or I feel like this. I feel yeah, sure, those exist in the material world, but when you go beyond those, you realize, well, then you end up where I ended up over the last week, which is I don't know what anything is anymore or who I am. So maybe don't go there too much. I don't know, do whatever you want to do, right? But it's a very expansive
It
experience when you start to remove the labels,
it
remove
comes
the
down to
labels.
unlearning, abandoning. You said
Yeah,
that word. You literally have to abandon everything
yeah,
you've learned because it
yeah,
just gives
yeah,
everything else more power
yeah.
and it takes away the
And
power from your soul.
exactly. And the label, it has so much with it because you label someone autistic, and now we've got another bunch of definitions to apply to that, which is it's a bad thing. It's going to be a problem in your life. It's this, it's caused by this. And now we've created a whole nother load of labels to attach to that label. And all we're doing is chunking everything into little labels, definitions, labels, trying to figure it all out. And we just get this big old mess.
And causing
Whereas
chain
if you just,
reactions. You're causing chain
exactly.
reactions because now people
And it just
around that
gives,
person who's autistic are all affected because they're like,
yeah,
"What am I going to
yeah,
do? I got to behave differently and I got to change."
exactly.
And it's
Yeah,
like, "No, stop.
yeah.
Just stop. Just
And
dance."
what is the exactly just dance. And what is the root truth? Everyone has a soul, everyone has a heart, everyone is energy, everyone is pure consciousness. And so just go there. I don't need to label you. Your life, you're dancing. Let me see
Cuz
your dance. Let's
yeah,
dance together, right? Let's have a little jig. Maybe that's all it is, eh?
we have two
Hey.
more on Insta.
Oh, have we?
From
Sorry, I'm not
Jill.
paying attention to.
Have you seen the new sort of coverage of ADHD symptoms that could be attributed to pretty much anyone? Yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, I'm not.
pretty sure I have ADHD and I have since a kid. But I mean, pretty much everyone I know has ADHD. So hello.
Yeah.
Stuff that could be explained by living in an inauthentic life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Probably. Sorry, Joe, I haven't been reading. You know, one thing's on
I,
Instagram as well is thanks, Ree. Is that the comments show up as a tiny little slither at the bottom, and I'm like, I don't. And when they're going, I can't see them, but I will read them as well later as well and
yeah.
reflect. But thank you, Jill. But no, I find all that stuff really fascinating. Right? We want to understand everything and label everything and make. It's like God, stop, man. You know,
It's
just
justifications, right? It's like, oh, they're
yeah,
behaving this way
yeah,
because they have ADHD.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so that makes it okay, or
Yeah.
that makes it worse, or
Oh,
that makes it better.
I tell you one, I think it was a Gabor Mate one, and he said something like this. And it was basically that they had labeled kids. Um, it was something ridiculous like I can't remember the words, but it was basically um, they have a resistance to authority disorder, something like that. It was that ridiculous that because the kids were playing up, because what do kids do, and because kids know their soul and they want to be like, they labeled it as a disorder that they are resisting authority, or there was something like that, and I was like, are we insane?
But
What is wrong with us?
that's the thing. So
What
we'll
kid
label them as
doesn't?
insane, right? And you're
Yeah.
right. That's what we
And
do.
it's a
So
problem and it's got to be fixed.
segregating, separation,
Yeah.
separation, which takes you, if I just put a label on something about me, it
Uh,
now becomes my personality, who I am, and it takes me
yeah.
farther away from my true
From who
self.
you truly are, from who you truly are,
So
which is
every
soul,
step to
spirit,
get
essence.
back to your true self, remember that
Yeah.
unpackaging, that uncovering
Yeah.
to get into the bottom of the box where the
Yeah.
problem or everything is, it's so simple.
I
And
know.
we
It is
just
so simple and we've
fucking
overcomplicated it.
overcomplicate everything.
Absolutely.
Like,
And that's what I feel for the poor kids, right? The poor kids that are getting more because we had enough of it at our age, but now it's pretty extreme. And like we were saying, then they're being measured and judged. I heard this thing about kids having anxiety, 5-year-old kids having anxiety about
stress
exams
and
and
stress.
stress. How can a child have stress? This is not okay, man.
China just
Something is very wrong.
China
Trying
just
to,
changed their policy with foreign teachers, right? That's when I lost my whole job and stuff,
oh,
is
yeah, yeah,
because kids, 5-year-old kids, are going to school at 7 a.m., coming home at 6 o'clock, doing extracurriculars after their class, eating literally in between, like in the car. They're studying from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
yeah,
And then parents are like, we need more homework. And I'm like,
This is insane. We're messing ourselves up, man. Like we're gonna see it one day if we're not already, if people aren't seeing it. But look, man. Hey,
Oh,
look, we've gone on another tangent. So why don't we do a quick lesson of the session? So we will summarize, and if anyone watching wants to share, what was your key lesson of the session? Is there anything in particular you take away? And then we shall close off. I know Ria could talk to you for another 5 hours, but that's how we roll. But let's do lesson of the session because we have been going for a while, and I'm conscious that people may want to
lesson of the session for me is
lesson
just
of the
so
session.
obvious. It's so
What
obvious
is
and
it?
clear.
I'll go
Dance
for
your
it.
dance. Dance your
Dance your
dance.
dance. That's
Dance your
exactly
dance.
my lesson of the session as well. Dance your dance.
Dance
Dance
your
your
dance.
dance, people.
Dance your dance. Dance your
Seriously.
dance. Whatever you want to
Dance your
do.
dance.
Say it the way.
Dance your dance.
Dance your dance. Whatever you call it.
Dance your dance. I'll say it your way. Dance your dance.
And dance your dance.
I love it.
And just do life because that is what it is. It is a dance. It's a
And then we ain't getting
beautiful,
out alive, right? As far as
beautiful
I
dance.
know, it's a beautiful dance,
Our body
and it's
isn't. The soul is. But I mean,
uh,
use your body to dance this beautiful
to
dance
dance your
and your
soul's dance.
soul. Yeah.
It's a soul dance, man.
Soul dance.
All right, yes, so we are definitely on the same lesson of the session, and any coming through? No comments at the moment. So I think no one wants to share any lessons of the session, unless Jimmy has anything, or I'm not sure if he's still around because we've been going for a bit over an hour now, as always. But
I'm gonna ask you to stay another 10 minutes, but for whoever wants to
you
stay
want
on.
me
Oh,
to?
we've got Jill. I
We can stay.
feel quite uplifted after this, so thank you. Oh, thank you
You're
so much for joining.
welcome.
You
Thank
know,
you, Jill. We appreciate you. Thanks for bringing your energy and
thank
your
you. Thank
questions.
you for
Thank
sharing your
you.
energy. That's literally all we
Yeah.
want. This is
Yeah.
all we want. This is our
We're
dance.
having a
This is
chat. It's our dance. You're dancing
sometimes
with
you
us,
dance
and we
with
love
other
it.
people, right? This is our
Yeah.
this is our dance.
We love
This
it.
is
Thank you
this is
so
our
much.
dance.
Yeah, it's good fun. Thank you so
Goosebumps on my
much,
forehead again.
Jill.
Thanks.
Morgan.
My forehead.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Uh, yeah, I need a card. The universe has been calling me.
Oh,
I've been
you want a
seeing
card?
cards
All
left,
right,
right, and
let's do
center.
a card. Would you like an angel
I
card?
don't know if I need an angel card because I feel like my
Would you like
angels
a
are around.
crazy love, crazy sexy love note card?
Nope.
Or would you like an Eckhart Tolle?
Let's go with angel card.
Okay, that's all the ones I've got right now. So, okay, we'll do an angel
Jill,
card.
if you're still free, stick around for 5 minutes. We'll pull you a card and do a little
You
mini
put your little
reading.
reading. Okay, all right, Reed. Do you have a question or an intention?
Uh no, just a message from the universe of
Okay, message for Reed.
around patience, I think.
I'm not feeling the energy of that.
Okay, cool.
Basically, no.
Cool. Jill's gonna stick around.
um, I'll just see what is in Reed's highest good to know. What should we have for Reed?
Send me a message. I know you've been trying to talk to me, universe. Just give it to me. See what you
Okay,
got. Give it to me straight.
okay. Oh my God, Ree, why does this always happen? Whenever we do this, we get the synchronicities and it blows my mind. Are you ready to see this? You've frozen, so I hope you can see this. No, you
I'm
haven't.
not
You're just
frozen.
smart.
I'm not frozen.
What was Ree talking about the whole time and at the start? I even wrote it down. I said, Ree, what are you grateful for? And she said, the signs and the universe signs and the reminders. And that is the card out of a 52 deck or whatever that got pulled for her. That is the magic. So, Ree, I mean, sorry. I'll try and do this without. It's not COVID, don't worry.
It could be. We're not getting it. Are you
I'm just going
right?
to have to mute for a second.
Oh, no worries. I love
I'm
that you're
back.
like trying to move to the side to cough, but really your mic's
Like,
attached to you. So,
I
like,
know, and I can't get them off.
oh,
Okay, right, we're tuning in. So signs and remind. I mean, to be honest, does what it says on the tin. Do we?
it
It's
doesn't just
basically like the universe is saying, "Why are you asking us when you already know?" Because all of the knowledge and wisdom is already within you.
yeah. I said, give it to
That
me
you
straight, didn't
know.
I?
That you already
Here's
know.
straight. Here's straight signs and
Straight
reminders.
signs and reminders are all
Oh,
around.
Pinky, you're frozen. Oh no,
Oh,
I'm frozen. Oh, I gotta
yeah.
call out the house. Oh
Huh?
no. Oh
What's
crap.
going on?
Our phone rang. Oh, my parents. Okay, next time there's gonna be like no phone calls and like our internet sucks. I'm at my parents' house. We're getting new internet. I'm changing it.
Um, okay, well, you're on Instagram, but you're frozen.
Am I still
I
frozen?
can't.
No, I'm back. I'm back.
You're frozen, and I can't hear you. Just do it
Oh,
on off camera for a second.
oh, 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 oh.
No. Give it a minute. I'll do a couple comments while we're waiting. Dance
Damn
with
it.
nature rather than dreams, says Auntie. And Jim says, I can't dance two left feet. That's not true, Jimmy.
That's just an excuse. That's what we do
Right.
when we have fears for everything. Don't make excuses.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
thanks, Jill. She can hear me on Insta. Okay,
Great.
cool.
Yeah, it's just good. You're still not there on the Facebooks though.
Still?
So no, I'm not hearing you in here and you're frozen. Oh, you're
Oh,
back.
all
You're
right.
back. You're back. Awesome.
Cool.
Very good. Very good. All right. So that was your card.
Thank you. Thank you, universe, for
Yeah,
listening to me yet again and giving me another sign
exactly.
and a reminder that I
Exactly.
need to just keep listening to the signs and reminders.
Do you want to do one of yours? Or are
I
you
don't have
good?
my cards.
Oh, you
They're at
don't
my
have them.
apartment.
Okay. So should we do one for Jill?
Yes. Chill.
Okay. Set an intention as well for what is in Jill's highest good. Hmm. Let me shuffle these properly.
Chill, do you have any questions for the universe?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not going to say no like Pinky did to me. Like, no, that's not it.
I feel like I'm trying to get the right card, which is not the energy with which to do this. So, Ree, give me a little
The word that
tune
comes
in.
to mind was direction. All right.
Okay.
So just direction and guidance from the universe. Direction and guidance for Jill.
Okay. I'm going to be here for 25 minutes just shuffling. No, I will get
Meditating,
one.
just doing
We could just do an intuitive reading. Oh, okay. What do you get?
See? There you go.
This one flipped out.
Inner child healing.
Inner child healing. And actually, interestingly, because we were talking about children earlier, so what comes up for me with that, Jill, is that firstly, it is your own inner child healing and connection to exactly what we've been talking about the whole session, which is your dance, your essence, your soul, your truth. And my sense is that actually, this is why you're also very reflective about what your children are experiencing, because you are very, very acutely aware that we are meant to live like this. We are meant to live as these beautiful, angelic, beautiful light beings of soul and purity. And you know that, and you want your children to experience that. But you also want to experience it yourself. And for me, in this image, you are also very much the motherly figure on this image. And there's really an essence of, it's a mixed journey, right? It's you nurturing your children is a very, very important part of your journey. But as you nurture their souls, you will also develop and nurture in your own. As you like Ree was saying earlier, watch them, learn from them, and encourage them to shine. You will connect more deeply with that part of yourself that you're also yearning for, as we all are. But you are acutely aware that you are yearning for that feeling and that connection and that way of dancing and living freely and flowing through life. So your children are a messenger for you, absolutely. And it's through nurturing them that you're going to end up nurturing yourself as well. So that really feels like an important thing to really focus in on and hone in on, and really hone in on the essence of the child, right? The eyes of the child, the light of the child. Really spend time with that, see it, feel it, love it, breathe it. And as you do, you will start to connect with it more and more in yourself. But your kids are very, I mean, all kids are, but I sense that yours are very, very powerful, bright lights, very powerful, bright lights. Like their joy and their presence is very, very strong. And so that's how it also heals you. So, in essence, the gift is already there in your life. It's just about nurturing it and connecting with it and using it. But they will remind you who you are, because that's what you're seeking. And they will remind you. And the more you allow yourself to just be like them and be in their crazy little world, doing crazy little things and running around and playing, that's going to wake it up in you. And I think that that lightness and that nurture that that's going to bring in your energy is going to be very, very healing of the parts of you, of your inner child, which has been wanting to come out for a very, very long time. But the overall energy of it is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It's nurturing. It's love. It's care. It's truth. It's beauty. It's angelic. And the sense is that that is your birthright to experience. That it is your birthright to experience this energy in your life because it's what you are. So that's what I get. Read. Do you want to just give a little reading for
Yeah,
that
sorry
bit?
about the
Wherever you
fire
are.
alarm, guys. We're almost done. But
Okay.
I mean, all of that is really resonating. But what's coming up for me, Jill, is that there's this fear with being a mother that you're kind of holding on to, which is creating the whole need to want to make sure that you're not teaching your children how, what to do, but instead of, teaching them how to kind of feel instead of what to feel and all those differences. And what's coming up for me is that it's coming from a fear of not letting them become like what your inner child feels and not letting that feeling out and kind of protecting them from that. And it's from a protective space. And so really just what like Pinky said is just taking their light and their joy and their experiences right now by letting them be free, but also just really honing in on that for your inner child yourself. So kind of taking that space and time for you to kind of go and just be like, great, I've enjoyed my children and I'm enjoying their presence and their joy, but now I'm going to take that presence and joy and really give it to my inner child because there's something that's kind of maybe lacking there, or maybe not, maybe there's something that's lacking there, and that there's something that your inner child is still longing for, that might be projected outwardly in wanting or not wanting these things, or almost coming out in a way to make things better, to fix things, to fix something that wasn't right when you had it, and to make sure that it isn't that way. But instead of coming from a place of fixing, the deeper soul, what's obvious is the nurture that really exists within you, that joy, that power, all of that your children have, that pink, that I've never even met. I don't even know how many kids you have, but like literally what's coming up is that joy and that light. It's so clear, and you are feeding off of it, but you need to just remember that that comes from within you and your inner child, because they are a part of you. I mean, they're a part of, they're a part of your being, and you made that and you made them, and your inner child needs to be treated the same way. And so the same love and affection that you're giving to them, and the openness and the dance that you're dancing with them, you need to take that time to really make sure that you're giving that to your inner child in order to properly heal, so that everything that you do want to kind of happen, because then instead of making it happen and making them, you know, not have to worry about achievement, or that's still a doing, and instead of not doing it, what's going to happen is from that healing of inner child, there's almost this, again, there's just like this angelic flow of your inner child just wanting to kind of come out and spread its wings and take form into your truth. And that truth in itself is going to dance the dance that needs to be danced. I said dance a lot of times, but with your children. And it's going to it's just going to be so apparent that you're never going to have to even use the words, just that energy flow is just going to come so naturally. Whereas right now there might be a little bit of resistance or a little bit of holding back of where it's coming from. But when you heal that inner child completely by just remembering and taking that joy within and dancing that dance with your true self and your soul, to release it, you just need to release your inner child. And by releasing it, it's going to feel healed. And that's really what's coming up for me with this card, is that it's there, and it's so there, and you're ready, and you're in a space to do it. And this is just a message from the universe going, it's time to not just nourish your physical children, but also your own inner child, because it is so much more important to do that, because everything on the outside will automatically take its own
Mm.
dance.
A couple of last things I just want to say that came through while Ree was talking is that don't forget how powerful your children are. Like, we want to protect them, we want to make sure they shine, but they are powerful, powerful souls. So don't forget, that is one thing that comes through. And the other thing that came through is actually physically dance with your children. Put on some music and physically dance with your children and just let go, and you will feel wonderful. And Jill says, this resonates with me. I'm so thankful for the both of you and for the synchronicity of having opened Instagram at the start of this live. We love it. Thank you,
Yay!
darling. It's been amazing. We're so
Yes,
grateful
thank
to have
you.
you. Thank you, Jill. All right, shall we shoot then? I think because we've been going for an hour and a half now, so I
Yep.
think time for a cup of tea
Yeah, and we're just gonna
and
catch up, and it's been another half hour here. So let's just,
talking
yeah.
about everything. Yeah. So, but thank you everybody for joining.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
Jimmy.
you.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Sophie, and everybody else who watched at any point. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.